Hey guys, it's Tyler with another 31 Days of Halloween, and today we have. It's everything about. I wasn't expecting this movie to be how it was. Right when it starts up, you're like, oh, this is like a prestige picture. And I'm, of course, referring to Magic. Now, this is like Anthony Hopkins starring and Richard Attenborough directing. Like, that right there. That shows you this is like heavy hitting, and which I wasn't expecting. I heard about this movie from a horror forum I was a part of many years ago, and it's always just like been in my mind, but it's never been available anywhere for me unless I were to buy it. And once I saw this ended up being on Shudder, so immediately I knew I had to see it. Honestly, that's it doesn't really fit in with a lot of the other stuff on this list in that I don't know. This could have been nominated for an Oscar. It's that good and that just that kind of style. They do such a good job. Anthony Hopkins in particular, it's mind blowing how what a performance he gives, and I'm really curious as to whether or not that he actually learned any puppeting. Just in terms of obviously he could work the mouth and everything, but I just didn't know if he was actually doing the vocal work like live or if that was just done in post production. Because I just assume it's post production, but if it's not, god damn, that's really impressive, really impressive. But again, it could have easily been post production. I wouldn't hold it against the film. But I loved. There's just something very unique about a killer doll movie where it's not really a killer doll movie. So we're going to be getting into some spoilers here. The doll in this essentially acts as Anthony Hopkins, like a conduit for Hopkins' other persona. He clearly has multiple personalities going on in his head, and the most fucked up one he puts in with this doll and it's always the doll doing these things. So that was just really cool. They did. I didn't know because they treat it during the film of like, oh, we don't know if this is actually what's going on. Maybe this doll actually is alive. But obviously, as the film goes on, it becomes more and more clear that Anthony Hopkins is just crazy. He does such a good job with it. I don't know. I love performances like this. They're unhinged, but still very subtle. It's very understated until he has to go crazy, which is it's really cool juxtaposition, and I loved it. There's also, I really enjoyed how all the kills went down, and that he's like always using the doll as a conduit for it. Like, if he's stabbing someone, it's not his hand doing the stabbing, it's still the doll. But even though he's just the one operating it. So I thought it was cool, and I thought it was interesting to see how they played off of that. And the ending is superb. I really wondered, I'm like, oh, are they actually just going to have him get away? And then that ending hits and you get to see. They just did such a good job with it. It really took me by surprise because I wasn't expecting, as I said earlier, prestige picture. That was quite the treat, and it's nice. It really gets to break up some of the craziness of some of these. So I definitely appreciated that. But there's not a whole lot to go over because it's a kind of a slow movie, and I think that you should just see it. That's my solution. That's my recommendation. Please just go see it. But tomorrow we have an interesting one. Day 18. We're getting there. We're getting closer and closer. And after the dryness of today, I figured let's do a fun one. Somewhat fun one. One that I thought was gonna be fun. But tomorrow for day 18 we have Murder Party. Getting back to the indie stuff. That's where all the bread and butter for good horror is. Let's see it.
Hey, you can feel free to hit that subscribe button below and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or Letterboxd. I am at Zombie Victim on all of them. Thanks.